Hey guys, it's Josh here, and welcome back to another video. And I'm dead inside, as you can clearly tell by my voice. But today, I'm going to be ranking every single ride at Thorpe Park. So it's going to be every single ride apart from the cinema. But all the other physical rides that you move on are going to be included. Kicking off the list at number 24 is Angry Birds Wild Hog Dodgers. And these, I just thought they were very underpowered. They didn't go particularly fast. The bumping didn't really do anything, and I didn't really find it fun at all. At number 23, we have Lumber Jump. Now, Lumber Jump, once again, it's the one that I haven't ridden, but I think it looked alright. I mean, it's a kiddie drop ride. What can you really expect, though? At number 22 is the Rocky Express, and I thought this was alright. It was quite fast, surprisingly fast. It really hits you into the side of the train because the lap bars don't actually stop you from moving around in the train, so you slide around the train. So they're not ideal in that format, but honestly, it's a pretty decent family attraction. Number 21 is Mr. Monkey's Banana Ride, and honestly, I think the reason this is so high is because of just how iconic the ride is on the skyline. And the ride itself, I think, is decent. I mean, it doesn't swing very high, it's quite low, but no, I thought it was an alright ship. Now, number 20 is Timber Tugboat, and I really did not expect much from this ride, but I genuinely thought it was a decent family attraction. You did feel a bit of force. I like how it spins on the track when it goes up and down, and it's not just still straight on that. So actually, I think that's a nice tug, and it's a decent family attraction. Number 19 is Depth Charge. Now, you don't really feel anything on this ride. It's not particularly forceful at all, but the reason it's this high is just the fact that you can race your friends and your family, and you don't actually get as wet as all of the other water rides in the park, so it's actually quite fun for what it is. And number 18 is Rumble Rapids, and I think what was I getting? I don't know. I'm done. I'm sorry. Rumble Rapids is a good family attraction. You don't actually get that wet on it, but it's fun going down the river, and well, it's just a standard River Rapids ride. It doesn't go as fast as it used to. I still think it's fun for what it is. At number 17, we have the Flying Fish, and I know this will trigger some people, but jokes aside, this is an amazing coaster if you're 6. But I think the 18 miles an hour top speed is alright for a powered coaster. The layout consists of a helix and a couple bank turns. It's nothing special, really. And number 16 is Storm in a Teacup, and this ride was just hilarious when we went on it, honestly. How you just got flung to the side and to the side, and we were allowed to take our cameras on there to film, and it was just hilarious. Of course, it's your standard teacups ride, but I enjoyed it a lot more than I thought I would when I went on for the first time. And number 15 is Storm Surge. Now, some people call this forceless, waste of time, ugly, and I agree with all 2 of those things. I don't think it's a waste of time if the queue is fairly short. It's still a fun family attraction. You go down fairly fast. I mean, you don't feel any forces. Splashdown section doesn't really splash down, but you gotta appreciate it for what it is. Number 14 is Quantum. Now, I wasn't expecting what I got from Quantum. I got a lot of forces which I wasn't expecting to get on a ride like that. And you even got a little bit of airtime when you went over the top of it. I really wasn't expecting much from that ride, but it definitely exceeded my expectations. Detonator's coming in at number 13, and Detonator I thought was a good drop tower. You got a lot of force on the drop, short as with all drop towers, obviously. I wasn't expecting much, and I didn't get a whole lot, but the drop was good. Very decent. What else to say? I don't know. Next one. At number 12 we have Vortex, and Vortex, well, I used to think it was better than Rush, some more rides on Rush and some more on Vortex. Kind of cemented my decision that Rush is the better flat ride. And Vortex, in my opinion, is relatively forceless actually. It's not that tall, but it's a good starting attraction for the day. A couple times I've been to Thorpe Park over the last year. I went straight to Vortex because it's a nice warm-up attraction, and it's genuinely a good flat ride. Speaking of Rush, coming in at number 11 is Rush. Rush is an S&S Scream and Swing, and I enjoyed it a lot more than I did my last few times I rode it. There's a lot of force that you get on the drop. The fact that it's only a lap bar, I mean, Vortex, you have the bulky over-the-shoulder restraints. On Rush, it's just a lap bar, which is probably the reason why it gets the edge over it for me. Warning, you will get absolutely wet on this ride. At number 10, we have Tidal Wave. Tidal Wave, you will definitely get very wet. The drop has good forces. You get that real stomach lifting feeling. I mean, obviously, it's a drop, so you're gonna feel that feeling. But the splash is massive. You will come off soaked. You will have to wear a coat, and if you don't, you will regret it for the rest of the day. Coming in at number 9 is The Walking Dead The Ride. Now, honestly, I thought the coaster was decent. A lot of people give it stick because it's a family coaster. Yeah, it's a family coaster, but it's a good family coaster. And especially in the dark, it adds a lot of appeal. And I thought the theming was well executed. I think they've got some smell pods in there, either that or it just reeks. But I think the theming definitely was improved with the new 2018. Yeah, it's an IP, but I think it's definitely a good choice. Coming in at number 8 is Zodiac. Now, my second favourite flat at the park. Very unpopular opinion. A lot of people don't like Zodiac, a lot of people rate it a lot lower than I do. But we got some really good forces on that one. The fact that you're not strapped in by anything makes you feel a lot more free. And the fact that you can't really move because the force exerted by the wheel when it spins is enough to keep you in your seat. Yeah, it might be old, yeah, it might be unreliable, but I think it's a very good attraction. And at number 7 is Darren Brown's Ghost Train. This is your stop. Don't worry. Darren Brown's Ghost Train was worse than I was expecting it to be, but when I first rode it, I was more a GP. I just saw it in the back of cereal packets, and I was like, oh, that looks really scary, and it wasn't scary, but I really enjoyed how complete the experience was, especially now with the Rise of the Demon. So it definitely it was definitely under my expectations, but I still really enjoyed it. Coming in at number 6, we have Colossus. And this is my least favourite out of the big 5, but that is in no way undermining it at all. And a lot of people say that it's rough. I don't find that it's actually that rough. Yes, the over shoulders are the worst restraints possibly ever created, but honestly, it's a...
Coming in at number 6 is Colossus.
Find that it was rough, as I said. I enjoyed all the inversions. I find the Heartline rolls I didn't really care for, that was just kind of there. But the corkscrew is very intense, the vertical loop very intense, and the Cobra roll is where you get the most headbanging, but it's still a decent inversion, and overall, I just like the coaster. Coming in at number 5 is my favourite flat ride at the park, Samurai. And Samurai, I was kind of putting it off for the first few trips, not because it was scary to me, because it usually had long queues and I just didn't really care for riding another flat ride. But I was blown away by how much force and how much you just get tossed around on that ride. I don't know if I got a few good rides on it, but every single time I've been on it, I've come off completely smiling, and without a doubt, that's better than Colossus in my opinion. Coming in at number 4, this will trigger some people, is the Swarm. And the Swarm is Very good coaster. I really enjoyed it, but I found it was lacking one thing, and that thing is force. You go around the track, you're speeding around the track at 60 miles an hour, but there's little to no force while you're going around it, which is why it can only rank so high. Of course, the theming's exceptional, probably best or joint best with Inferno in the park, and one of the best in the UK. And I really thought this was a solid ride. At number 3 is Nemesis Inferno, and some people call it not as good as the original Nemesis, some call it better. I can't comment because I haven't ridden the original Nemesis, but what I can say is that it's smooth, it's intense, all the elements are well paced. No, it is a very well paced coaster. I really like the pre-drop into the mist tunnel, that's a really fun part of the ride, and the vertical loop's incredibly intense. At number 2, this will also trigger some people, is Soar the Ride. A lot of people call this one rough, some even call it rougher than Colossus. I found it to be one little jolt as you hit the bottom of the Beyond Vertical drop, and then after that there was nothing. It was buttery smooth for me. Climb the vertical lift hill and then drop the Beyond Vertical 100-degree drop, and then soar through 3 inversions. My personal favourite is the dive loop. Airtime hill, don't really get much airtime on it, but it's still a really, really great coaster. Now, coming in at number 1 is the shortest ride on this entire list, yet also the best, because that would be Stealth. Stealth is an infinite accelerator, and just the sheer acceleration that you get launched out of that station, 0 to 82 in 1.9 seconds. I think it's the 4th fastest in the world. But overall, this is 100% the best coaster at Thorpe, in my opinion. Opinions on your top 10, top 5, whatever, leave them down in the comments. And apart from that, that's going to have to be it for now. So if you like more, then please like, comment, and subscribe to the Josh Jammers. Apart from that, thank you so much for watching, and goodbye, my friends, and see you in a video soon. I'm literally dying. Please help me.